Hey, welcome. My name is Adam, and thank you for tuning in to this video where I will be sharing with you how to shift your physical reality by learning how to embody a higher vibrational state of being. This video is going to have absolutely no new age fluff or esoteric spiritual woohoo mumbo jumbo. The only thing we will be speaking about in this video is the laws of physics. Because our cutting edge science is actually telling us that physical reality is made of vibrations. And exactly what the substance is that is vibrating, there's a little bit of debate between scientists. Some scientists will say that it's monofilament 10th dimensional strings that are vibrating. Some scientists will say that it's the quantum field of energy that is vibrating. I don't agree with either of them, actually. I think that there is something else that is vibrating that we're going to be talking about a little bit more as we go on in this video. But the point is that when you learn how to shift your vibration, what that does is that allows you to resonate on a different frequency and actually resonate with a different physical reality. It is exactly like tuning a radio. So when you change the channel on your radio, what are you doing? This is just physics. You're changing the shape of the receiver so that it can pick up the vibrational waves of the radio signal that you want to tune into. That's what's happening here on the internet. That's what's happening when you change the channel on your TV. When you learn how to change the channel of your emotions and your actual state of being, you start to get a different picture that is playing on the screen of your life. So, exactly what is the substance that is vibrating? Now, when we do science, what we're doing is we're observing physical reality. We want to observe the patterns of manifestation. We want to know what is going on out there in the world. Now, with the quantum revolution that began in the 1920s and honestly still continuing until today, scientists discovered that if they want to study physical reality, they can't leave the observer out of the picture. They need to include themselves in the process of investigation. Because with things like the double slit experiment, we discovered that if I observe a part of reality, let's say I'm observing a subatomic particle. If I'm observing this subatomic particle, we found that the measurements that I get for the position of the particle and for the velocity of the particle and the spin and the charge, etc., the position of the particle actually changes based on whether or not I am observing it. So if I'm not observing the particle, it has a wave-like quality, but if I am observing the particle, it has a solid electron photon-like quality. This is what we found in the double slit experiment. If you want to see the double slit experiment for yourself, I'm going to link a video in the description. Check it out. It's going to blow your mind that this is actually what science has found. And the ramifications for this are infinite, actually. They're infinite. When I observe a part of reality and am trying to understand what reality is, I need to take into account what is observation. What is the observer? So if I'm looking into a microscope, let's say an electron microscope, and I'm observing the functioning of a subatomic particle, I need to pause for a second and ask myself a meta question. Like, wait a second. What is observation? Who is observing? if I want to know what this particle is made of, I actually need to know what my own consciousness is made of. And I'm not talking about, oh, it's made of the firings of neurons in my brain. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the qualia, the actual field of sight. If you become aware right now that you have experience, right now you have feelings, sounds, sights, smells, tastes, thoughts, all of these things are occurring, but a scientific experiment can't tell you what the color red actually is. Sure, it could give you can give you the vibrational wave of the color red, but it can't tell you what the actual experience of the color red actually is. So if I want to know what the nature of reality is, I have to be very, very, very interested in understanding what is the nature of experience itself. Because when I'm observing a subatomic particle, there is an observer who is having an experience of reality. And I need to know what that is. And don't make the assumption of thinking that, oh, if I just study my brain waves, then that's going to tell me what an experience is. Because really think about how if you're looking at, let's say, a picture, I forget what they're called, the computer screen of the brain waves. If you hook me up to a brainwave machine and it shows you the vibrations on a screen, that screen is not the experience of Beethoven's symphony. If you play the Ode to Joy and you hook me up to a brainwave scanner and you look at my brain waves as the Ode to Joy is playing, that is not the same thing as me actually listening to the actual Ode to Joy and experiencing that directly in my first person experience. Science, you could say, is very good at observing reality from, I guess you could say, a third person perspective, looking at the external surfaces of reality. But science is not doing a very good job of answering, wait, but what is first person experience? What is subjective experience? What actually is it? And you can't dismiss this. You can't say, oh, it's not important, or it's not possible, or maybe later we'll get it, because no, we won't get it maybe later. You have to get it now. Human beings have gotten it. We've understood the nature of first-person experience for thousands and thousands of years. It's called mysticism. And mysticism, all it is, if you're actually serious about understanding the nature of reality, mysticism is just the science of the present experience. I'm trying to understand the nature of subjective experience to actually self-reflect in such a way where I'm interested in understanding what am I? What is the self-reflection? It's like the hand trying to grab itself. So when you're trying to comprehend reality by using your mind, you also need to go meta, and you need to try to comprehend comprehension itself. You need to actually use your mind and your senses and your observation to try and understand what are senses, and what is the mind, and what is awareness, and what is observation. That's what mysticism is. There's practices, there's tools and techniques that people have been using for thousands of years to actually grasp the true nature of reality for themselves. And what's so great about, let's say, Even just the word mysticism causes many scientifically minded people to start having an allergic reaction and they start sneezing, because the spirit of science is to have a objective, tangible, real, accurate picture of the world in a way that is verifiable. It's grounded. It needs to be tested rigorously. That's the spirit of science. So even the word mystical, it sounds like something that's like up in the air. It's like up here. It's not grounded or tangible or verifiable. It has to do with philosophies of esoteric ideas and theories. So the word mysticism is actually coming from the root word mystery. And yes, exactly, reality is a mystery. We don't know what it is. It's complicated. We need to observe reality from a multitude of different angles and lenses and perspectives. We can't only use the scientific method. Scientific method's great, awesome, it's good, but it's limited. There's limitations of it. It's not a perfect method for understanding all of reality. There are other methods that need to be used alongside the scientific method to get a full picture of what is actually going on here in present experience, in reality. Because that's the spirit of science. The spirit of science is, I just want to know what reality is, and I don't really care about how I get there. It could involve me using a psychedelic. It could involve me using meditation. It could involve me using contemplation or yoga or a telescope or an electron microscope or an experiment. It doesn't matter how I get to the truth. I just want to get to the truth. And now there's this question of like, but Adam, how do you know you're not deluding yourself? How do you know you got the actual truth by using a psychedelic or by using a mystical practice? The thing with the truth is that if we're talking about understanding the absolute truth of the true nature of reality, when you get it, you get it. You just get it. It's something that your consciousness kind of locks into and you just apprehend it. It's beyond the shadow of a doubt. The truth of reality is as real as your hand in front of your face. So the truth of reality is not an idea or a philosophy or a concept or a string of words. The truth of reality is as real as your hand in front of your face. Actually, look at your hand right now, like your physical hand. Look at it. When you understand the true nature of reality, it is as real, it's actual. It is as real as your actual hand in front of your face. Your actual hand in front of your face doesn't require a proof or a double-blind study. Adam, can you give me a double-blind study to prove that my hand is in front of my face right now? No, it's just there. It's just in front of your face. So, all of this to go back to the original question of what is the substance that is vibrating? Because reality is definitely vibrating. If something stops vibrating in reality, that means it actually ceases to exist. It becomes nothing. The only way that we know that anything exists at all is because we can pick up its vibration. Even solid objects like rocks, if you look at the particle level, the particles are vibrating, they're all bouncing off each other. So for something to exist, it has to vibrate, but that's kind of weird because modern science is telling us that atoms or particles are made of 99.99% empty space. So the things that we call solid particles are made of 99.99% empty space. Okay, that might as well just be 100% empty space, because even the 0.001% that supposedly isn't empty space, what does it even mean for something to be physical? What does it mean for something to not be empty space? For something to actually physically exist? Can you become aware right now, if you're able to, become aware that what you call physical experience is actually empty space? When you're looking at your world around you, it's just made of pure consciousness. There's no substance behind it. There's nothing behind the scenes. It's like a dream. Your reality experience, the substance that is vibrating is your own consciousness. Your own thoughts and emotions and ideas about reality and about yourself and about life. That's what's vibrating. The vibratory substance of reality is the actual scientist's mind. When the scientist is observing vibrations of a subatomic particle, that scientist is not aware that that subatomic particle vibrating is my own consciousness vibrating. That subatomic particle vibrating is my own consciousness vibrating. In the same way, this is so important, because if you're interested in understanding the true nature of reality, and let's say you're studying a subatomic particle, you need to pause for a second and go meta and ask yourself, wait a second, what is experience? What if I'm dreaming? Because imagine that you're dreaming, you're sleeping in your bed at night, and in your dream, you're dreaming that you're a scientist that is studying subatomic particles. And since in your dreams, time is relative, so you could even have an entire 50-year lifespan. You could live 100 years just in one night in your bed. I've heard stories, I've had crazy dreams myself, where I've even heard other people's dreams where they tell me detailed stories of an entire lifetime that they live within the span of an 8-hour sleep. This one guy actually, this old Call of Duty streamer that I used to watch when I was like 11, he had a nap one day. It was like a 30-minute nap, and he told this story of how he lived an entire lifetime as like a vampire, basically. And he lived this whole lifetime, and it was detailed, and he told a saga. It was like a 6-part saga, and each episode was like an hour long, where he was explaining his entire lifetime as a vampire. It's called Driftor's Epic Dream. If you're interested, you can probably check it out. But the point is that in your dreams, time is relative. So you can live an entire lifetime as a scientist studying subatomic particles, right? So imagine you're studying subatomic particles, you have a job, maybe you're working for a university, or maybe you're an independent scientist, or maybe you're working in a lab, you're studying the nature of reality, you're doing really good research, you're publishing your papers, you're getting peer reviews, you're getting cited in other people's papers, you're thinking you're doing some amazing science, you're understanding the nature of particles. But then something happens one day, maybe you're 50 years old, you're going for a walk in the forest, all of a sudden you realize, oh, wait a second, I think I'm dreaming. And then poof, you have a lucid dream, and you start looking around this forest, and you realize that this entire forest is made of your consciousness. And this realization actually threatens your dream ego, because your dream survival is actually based on your science giving you good answers. Like, you need to have good science be accurate so that you can keep your job, so that you can pay your bills and feed your family, and have status and recognition and reputation in your university. So when you wake up and realize that you're dreaming, that recontextualizes everything. All of your scientific discoveries that you've been making have been scientific discoveries that you've been making about your own mind in a dream. You thought you were studying actual reality, but really what you were really studying is your own mind. You were studying your own dream, and you were lost in the dream. The dream tricked you. You tricked yourself. Why did you trick yourself? Well, it's not a bad thing, actually. You have to trick yourself in order to have a finite experience as a human being. If you want to live a lifetime, one of the preconditions for living a lifetime is you need to forget that you're God dreaming reality. You need to forget that you are actually all things and that everything is made in your consciousness. That's one of the preconditions for being a human being and having a human experience. That's what makes the game fun. That's what adds some real life stakes to your game. So when your girlfriend breaks up with you, it's actually sad. Or so when you are injured, it is actually very scary. Or when you're doing work, when you're running your business, you actually think that you're like actually making money. You are doing all those things in a dream. So yes, reality is a dream, but reality is a real dream. Consciousness is real. Reality is really made of consciousness. So many people say, oh, Adam, reality's a dream. That's so sad. Now I'm depressed. Now nothing matters. No, it's not nothing matters, as if that's sad. It's nothing matters. Yes, that's great. That's the best thing ever. Now you're free. You just woken up in the dream. You're lucid dreaming. You're free. Now you can explore the infinity of creation without being so worried and attached to life. You're free to explore. That's a good thing. Waking up is a good thing. It may be a little bit scary if your entire career is completely out of alignment with the true nature of reality and your true nature. So the reason why the ego doesn't want to wake up is because the ego is so out of alignment with its true nature as God that it's like too much to stomach, like all at once. Like, imagine someone who's like a janitor for like, nothing wrong with being a janitor, like there's nothing wrong with that, but maybe that's not your life purpose and you would have preferred to be a singer, right? And you're a janitor for 50 years because you're too afraid to be a singer because you have all these limiting beliefs that you can't make it as a singer. It's not practical. You need to, have your feet on the ground and be practical. And then imagine after your 80-year lifetime as a janitor, you wake up and you realize, oh shit, that whole time I could have, not wasted my life by being so afraid of doing what I'm passionate about and living in alignment with my true self. It's like this analogy in the show Rick and Morty. What happens is there's this video game. It's like an arcade game where you put on this headset and it completely wipes your memory clean and you get transported into this virtual reality where you live through the lifetime of this boy called Roy. And you actually live through like 80 years of life as Roy, and the point of the game is that you need to like live the best possible life. One of the preconditions for playing Roy is that when you put the headset on, it wipes your memory clean. You forget that it's just a game. That's what makes it real. So, hey, you're in a game. Don't waste don't waste it, but you have an opportunity to live in more alignment with your true authentic vibration, with your true authentic self, which is what we're going to be talking about here. Now, guys, I need to make a disclaimer. Like, when I say things like reality is a dream, and that gives you like some idea, like, oh, maybe I should go jump off a bridge if reality is a dream, or maybe I should like go hurt myself or hurt other people, or I should go like rape someone. No. When you realize that reality is a dream, you realize that you're infinitely abundant, and that you actually start to honor and appreciate the beauty and intelligence of physicality. So I'm not saying physicality isn't real. Physicality is real. There is such thing as physicality. But with the higher level context that physicality is the dream of God. Physicality is one of the dreams of consciousness. So yes, your body is real. It's made of cells and bones and tissue. So we have to go full circle. We can't just stay in nirvana where we realize everything's a dream. Then after we realize everything's a dream, now we need to create the best possible dream for ourselves. We need to go back into the dream with our knowledge and actually experience life to the best of our ability to self-actualize our highest potential as God. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in this video. One of the core principles for living the best possible life is understanding that the circumstances of your life don't matter. The only thing that matters is your state of being. And right now my state of being is a little bit thirsty, so I'm going to drink some water, hydrate myself. So your circumstances don't matter, only your state of being matters. Because when you change your state of being, when you change your vibrational frequency, you can change your circumstances very quickly. This is like having a lucid dream. If you're stuck in some situation in your dream and you can't get out of it, maybe you're in a job that you hate and you have a terrible financial situation, and maybe someone's chasing you or whatever, you're in a bad situation in your dream. When you wake up, you realize, oh, the circumstances don't matter, only my state of being matters. So when I wake up and realize that I'm dreaming, then I can change the actual dream just by changing my imagination, by having a different thought, by having a different intention. If I reimagine myself, then the actual dream immediately reimagines itself. Now, the only difference between a dream at night and waking consciousness is that waking consciousness takes a little bit longer to reform itself into a new shape. So in a lucid dream at night, when you have a new imagination of yourself and of your reality, it forms immediately. Because a dream just like is your mind. You can just like imagine it and it's happening at the same time. However, physical reality takes a little bit more time because it's more solid, it's slower. It just moves a little bit slower. And this is actually great. This is cool. Food tastes better in physical reality. When you make something physical, when you actually crystallize something in physical reality, it's even better because now it's physical, it's more solid, it's more lasting. So, how do we change your vibrational state of being? First of all, recognize that reality is made of vibrations. This is an experience that you can have for yourself. I've had many peak experiences on psychedelic trips and also on Vipassana meditation retreats where I've seen very, very clearly the vibratory nature of experience. What an experience actually is it's you can't explain with words. If I tell you that an experience is something, if I tell you, oh, experience is vibration, then you're going to think, oh, experience is vibration, but experience, consciousness itself isn't another thing. It's not atoms or molecules or vibrations or energy. Consciousness is itself. It can't be reduced. It's irreducible. You can't reduce experience to a smaller part. Consciousness is not made up of smaller parts. It just is itself. The experience of a tree isn't a smaller, it's not neurons in the brain. The experience of a tree just is an experience of a tree. It just is itself. Hope you understand what I'm saying here. It's just like reality is itself. You can't explain it in terms of something else. So even saying that reality is consciousness, that's the only word that we got to explain the fact that reality is self-aware. The objects in your experience, I don't know if you can be aware of this one, objects in your experience are self-aware. They're aware of themselves. In order for an object to exist, that means that the object must exist in awareness. An object can't exist if nobody is aware of its existence. So when you break through and you realize non-duality, you realize that objects are actually self-aware. In order to be a person, in order to be an object, in order for anything to exist, there needs to be a subject and an object. Because for an object to exist, there needs to be someone to experience it. But in order for someone to exist, they need to have objects to experience. That's what reality is. You know what you are by comparing yourself to what you're not. But when you realize that there is nothing that you are not, that everything is you, that all objects are self-known, everything is you, it's literally you, then it's not so far-fetched to stomach the possibility that maybe, just maybe, if I change my vibrational frequency, then I change physical reality. When I change the way that I'm being, then I change my physical experience. So it's the same as the radio analogy. When you change the frequency that you're vibrating on, you actually change what you're able to see in physical reality. So when we talk about manifestation, a common misconception is that people think that we're creating something new. That I'm creating a new laptop, or a new house, or a new girlfriend, or a new six-pack. We're not creating something new. What we're doing is we're shifting our vibrational frequency to be on the same channel to experience the thing that we want to experience, which is already existing. Reality is infinity. All time exists now. Everything is occurring now. Every possibility is occurring now. So, you don't need to create your manifestation. Your manifestation already exists. You need to shift your state of being, the state that you're resonating at, so that you can see it. So I'll give you a practical example. So I was interested recently in buying a new laptop. And I was looking at which laptop I was going to buy, and honestly, I wanted the laptop to go on sale because it's a bit expensive, and I want like a specific laptop, but I didn't want to pay like $4,000 for it. So I was seeing if I could get a better deal. And as I was waiting, I was visualizing myself having the laptop that I want. And I was visualizing myself using it. And the reason why I was visualizing is because I was shifting my vibrational state of being to the version of Adam who already has a great laptop that's fast, that's able to render his videos and do work on, because my old laptop was breaking down. So by doing that visualization, within a few days, I realized, or my girlfriend told me, hey, I actually have a laptop that you can use. It's my brother's laptop, and he used it for gaming, and he doesn't need it anymore. He gave it to me, so you can use it if you want. So I was like, oh, wow, amazing. I now have this new laptop, and it's super fast. It renders my videos, and it's a gaming laptop, so it's like super fast. It's exactly what I need, and I got it for free. But the only way that I was able to get it was to realize that was to shift my vibrational frequency to the version of Adam who already had a laptop. And what that did was that actually allowed me to see that I already had the laptop. Like my girlfriend had it. So I was actually able to see in my reality the thing that I needed was already there. All I needed was to just realize that it was already there. And it's crazy. Like I'm telling you right now, like there are so many opportunities that are right in front of your face where if you just like realized it right now, it would make you $1 million. If you realized, like I've been having coaching ideas recently that are coming out of thin air because I've been shifting my vibrational frequency, and these ideas are resonating a lot with the people that I'm sharing them with, which we'll talk a little bit more about that in the future. And I'm getting people reaching out and paying me money to coach them and to help them. And these ideas are coming out of thin air. I didn't see this possibility before. When you're in a low, lacking vibrational state of being, when you're frustrated with your life, when you hate your life, when you're always wanting your life to be better, and you place expectations on exactly what you need in order to make your life better, if you don't let life support you with what you need. Like, for example, if I was insistent that, oh no, I need this one specific $4,000 laptop in order for me to do my work, then I wouldn't have been open to the possibility of receiving a different laptop from a different source, not from the internet on apple.com, but instead from my girlfriend. And this thing allows me to do the work that I need to do. So if I was insistent on having the exact thing that I want, then I would actually be blocking the possibility of receiving the thing that I want from an alternative source. So how do you raise your vibrational state of being so that you can actually see the opportunities that are right in front of your nose? Your reality will shift before your eyes, and you'll actually realize in many ways that you've already had the thing that you wanted the entire time, but you just weren't seeing it. You literally were on the wrong radio channel. When you shift the channel, the thing you want is either right there in front of your eyes, or it's so close and it's so easy for you to get that all you have to do is like take a very simple, easy action, and it's there. It's right there in front of you. When you're on the wrong channel, when you're resonating at a low frequency, when you have the wrong thoughts, when your thoughts aren't in alignment with the version of yourself that you desire to be, you're out of alignment with your true self, who you authentically want to be, then the things that you want to experience in your life seem difficult. They seem far away. They seem hard. They seem like they require so much setup and so much action, and so much needs to be done in order to achieve it. That's why we think our ideal reality is like all the way out there, and it's so hard to get. And then we start taking action, we start working in a way as if the reality is so far away, and we make achieving our goals harder than it needs to be, more difficult and needlessly complicated, because we've assumed that the goal is actually farther than it actually is. Because we're on the wrong channel, we're on the wrong radio frequency. We're in the wrong state of being. We're embodying the wrong person. We're embodying our old self, who is completely out of alignment with what you want. So instead, in order to raise your vibrational state of being, a great way to do that is to shift your vibrational state of being to visualize having all the things that you want as if you already have them now. How would you feel if you already had the thing that you want? Actually feel it. Give it some detail. Give it some juice. Feel it. Get excited about already having it now. Doesn't that feel amazing? Stay in this state for a few minutes, and then once you do this visualization, you feel what you want, drop it. Let it go. Let go of the details of your visualization while maintaining the vibrational state. And then reality will actually give you the thing that you wanted, but it won't always come in the exact form that you visualized. Reality will give you the thing that you needed, and it will actually give you something even better. And it will correspond to your vibrational state. It's not going to correspond exactly to your exact visualization. So maybe, let's say you're visualizing you're living on a beach in the Bahamas. And that's your visualization. You're visualizing a specific house with a specific person. Okay. The point of that visualization is to get the feeling state. The feeling of abundance and freedom and appreciation and joy and gratitude and satisfaction for already having the thing that I want in my reality. The key is not to be insistent on that specific formulation, that like you don't need that specific house in the Bahamas with that specific person. Maybe what reality will give you is an opportunity to, let's say, go on vacation with a friend of yours to a beach that maybe isn't the Bahamas, but maybe it's somewhere else. Maybe it's in Southeast Asia, or maybe it's in Hawaii, or it's somewhere else. But if you are insistent on, oh no, it needs to be in the Bahamas, because that's what I visualized, then you might turn down the opportunity to go on vacation to Hawaii, because reality was about to give you the same vibe of the thing that you want, but you were too attached to the specific thing, so you made it harder and more difficult. You turned down the opportunities as they came to you. So I have another video, 11 ways to raise your vibrational frequency, where I go over the basics of raising your vibration, which is like learn how to meditate, get some sunlight, go spend time in nature, do shadow work, release shame, do what you're passionate about, exercise, do yoga, do psychedelics in a safe and responsible way. So that video talks about just some of like the basic ways to raise your vibration. But in this video, I actually wanted to share with you the ultimate way to raise your vibration. This way that I'm about to share with you is a complete toolkit for always remaining in a high vibrational state at all times so that your life will actually start to flow synchronously. You will be in the right place at the right time with the right people, with everything that you need to live as your highest self and to be abundant and free and passionate and excited and to have the experiences that you want. You will be able to live in that state at all times, and life will flow easily and effortlessly if you use this complete toolkit that I'm going to be sharing with you right now. The way to shift your vibration so that you can embody the reality that you want to experience is to always follow your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis, taking it as far as you possibly can take it without having a specific expectation about what the outcome of your action should be. So let's break this down. Step 1, always follow your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis. What does this mean? This doesn't necessarily have to be a career or a job. I'm not talking about like following your life purpose, although it includes that and it's related to that. But what I mean is following your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis. It could be anything. So throughout the day, you have many different things that you can take action on. You could read, you could ride your bike, you could meditate, you could go for a walk, you could make a YouTube video, you could eat some food, you could call your friend on the phone, you could do your taxes. There's an infinite, well, not an infinite, but there's many different possible actions that you could take on a daily basis. When I say to follow your highest excitement, what I mean is to pick the action that excites you the most in that moment. So how do I know what to do first on my to-do list? I'm going to read, I could go for a walk, eat some food, jump up and down, roll around, have a dance party, listen to some music, anything. How do I know what to do first? You pick the option that feels the most exciting. Whichever option even contains just a little bit more excitement than all the other options, pick that option first. Act on that thing first. Because excitement is actually the organizing principle of your higher mind, your higher intelligence, your soul, or your non-physical self, your higher self, is guiding you through life with your feelings. This is called your emotional guidance system. When a certain path feels good, if it feels exciting to take this action, that's your higher mind telling you that this is the thing to do now. This is the path you should take first in order to continue unfolding your life along the highest, most exciting, most passionate timeline. This is basically, it's like changing the channel to the channel of excitement. If there's all these different channels that you could change to in your life, like as if your life's a television set, pick the channel that feels the most exciting to watch. And do that on a moment-to-moment basis. So when you follow your highest excitement, follow it to the best of your ability. That means that if it's physically impossible for you to act on the thing that you're excited about, like there's a roadblock, like your computer breaks down, or let's say you're taking a path and then there's a tractor trailer that's parked in the middle of the road and there's no way for you to go around it. if there's a physical blockage, what that means is that that's not the path. You're not able to act on it. So reconsider, okay, now what's the next highest exciting thing to do? If the road is physically blocked, what that means is that you weren't meant to act on that right now. Pick the next highest exciting thing that you have the ability to act on, and then act on that. And you do that on a moment-to-moment basis from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And when you're excited to go to bed, like you know, when you're really tired at the end of the day and now it's time to go to bed, you feel excited to go to sleep. Everything that you didn't get done that day didn't need to get done that day. Because excitement is the organizing principle of your life. It's the complete toolkit. It leaves nothing out. So if, let's say, you missed something that you thought you had to do that day, but the whole day you were following your highest excitement, what that means is your higher self is telling you that that thing didn't need to be done today. Maybe it'll get done later, or maybe it'll get itself done. Maybe someone else will do it for you. Or maybe tomorrow will be an even easier way to do it. Whereas if you tried to force yourself to do it today, even if you didn't feel excited to do it, then you would have been doing it the most inefficient possible way, and it would have lowered your vibrational state. It would have made you frustrated. It would have made you angry. It would have wasted a bunch of your time, and then that would have brought you off track, out of alignment with your highest timeline. So step 2 is act with as much of your soul as you possibly can. So, for example, I'm making this video right now. When I make this video, this is the video I was excited to make. I give this video my all. I give it all of my passion and juice and every possible quality of myself that I can put into this video. That's what I put into the video. And I do it for as long as it feels exciting. Now, actually, I'm starting to feel excited to end off the video because it's getting a little bit long. So the third way to follow your highest excitement is the third principle is to not have expectation for the outcome. So we already talked about that, not needing it to manifest in a specific way, but just letting whatever way it comes to come. All right, guys, this video was just completely off the cuff. This was how to shift your vibrational frequency to align to your highest timeline, to shift your physical reality. If you follow a lot of the principles that I spoke about in this video, following your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis, knowing that that is how reality works, that's how you stay in a high vibrational state. Think about it logically. If you just follow your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis, you'll live the most exciting possible life on a moment-to-moment basis, and it'll just get more and more exciting if you take that excitement as far as you can take it. Now you might wonder, but Adam, what if following my highest excitement causes somebody else to judge me? What if my parents judge me for following my highest excitement? Well, your highest excitement, another person doesn't know what your highest excitement is. Let's say, my parents are forcing me to go to university, but I'm not excited to go to university and I don't want to go to university. Well, don't listen to your parents. Listen to yourself. If you're excited to not go to university, tell them, hey, I'm not going to university. And if they argue with you, I'm sorry, I can't live my life for another person. I have to live my life for myself because nobody else in reality knows what's good for you. Only you know what's good for yourself by feeling which path feels the most exciting in your heart on a moment-to-moment basis. If you want some more of this, check out this video here. I think I'm going to keep it unlisted. I might release it, but this video goes into a lot more detail about how to follow your highest excitement. The reason why the video is unlisted is because the audio was all messed up. I forgot to plug in my microphone. So the video is amazing, super high quality information. Go check it out now. It's an unlisted video, so I don't know if it's going to be public, but that video is actually going to give you more detail for how to follow your highest excitement. And it's just going to help you a lot for living a passionate, abundant life. And subscribe to this channel. I make new videos whenever I feel like it, for living the best possible life, for aligning your vibrational frequency to your true authentic frequency, being your true self, living in alignment with your life purpose, being creative, sharing your creativity online in a way that brings you financial abundance, because when you share your excitement online, that vibrational frequency inspires and helps other people. And business, making money, is all about helping and inspiring other people by doing them a service, giving them art. So whatever your vibrational frequency of excitement is, whatever excites you the most, that's the way you're going to be of most service to other people's lives, because they resonate on your frequency of excitement. And that's the path that is going to make you the most happy and the most abundant, not just emotionally, but financially as well, because when you are living in a high vibrational state at all times, because you're doing what you're passionate about and you're following your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis, then your outer life experience starts to resonate and starts to reflect all of those things that resonate with the same frequency of the high vibration of excitement. It could be money, it could be gifts, it could be relationships, it could be opportunities, it could be health and well-being. All of those things will flow into your life when you learn how to live as your true, authentic self and to follow your highest excitement on a moment-to-moment basis without sacrificing it for anyone. Even if you think, like, Adam, but I'm afraid to follow my highest excitement. See, no, you're not afraid to follow your highest excitement. If you're afraid to do something, then what that means is you have a limiting belief on that isn't true, where you think, where if I follow my highest excitement, something bad is going to happen to me. Oh, what if I follow my highest excitement and then it leads me off a cliff, and then I have no money and I injure myself and everyone walks away from me and leaves me. See, that actually is coming from a misunderstanding of the actual physics of how excitement works. When you are vibrating on, if you're following what excites you the most, you're actually putting yourself in the most resourceful, in the most attractive state that you can put yourself in, where you are the most aware, the most conscious, the most awake, the most happy, the most abundant. Following your highest excitement actually decreases the odds of something bad happening to you and people leaving you and things not going your way. If someone leaves you because you're following your highest excitement, did you ever think that maybe you didn't want that person in your life in the first place? Or if you have to do some work to make money, but you're very not excited about that work, you hate that work, did you ever think that maybe by doing that work that is out of alignment with your highest excitement, you're actually sacrificing the opportunity to do work that is in alignment with your highest excitement, that will end up making you even more money? Interesting. All right, guys, that's all I have to say for today. Click the first link in the description if you're interested in working with me one-on-one. If you'd like some coaching for how to actually follow your highest excitement and get rid of all these limiting beliefs and emotional blocks that are holding you back. Because like I said in that unlisted video with the terrible audio, well, it's not terrible. I just got this kind of like this like it's like, imagine you're talking to me in a cave. There's a bit of an echo, but the content is so good that honestly you should check it out. And in that video, I talk about how you can apply to work with me and actually work through your emotional blocks to shift your vibrational frequency to align with the version of yourself that you authentically want to be, so that you can live the life that you want and just be your best self. All right, guys, I'm going to leave. I'll see you in the next video.